Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here with the American Firearms Association. Growing up in Northwest Iowa in the 80s, Minneapolis was always a wonderful place to go and visit as a kid. Catch a Twins game, go out for the weekend. It was a great time. We look forward to it immensely. Minneapolis was, at that time, a very safe place to go. If you live, though, in the upper Midwest these days, you know that Minneapolis is absolutely infested with violent crime. It's a combination of Governor Walz, who is a radical leftist nut job, who is importing violent criminals from foreign countries. It's also because Soros-backed prosecutors simply will not put bad guys in jail. And the state has no stand your ground law. So law-abiding citizens are always having a disadvantage when it comes to stopping violent criminals in public places. Thankfully, Minnesota does have castle doctrine, and today's video is an application of the state's castle doctrine law. And shockingly, it's a case where the Hennepin County Attorney's Office actually got it right and did not prosecute this homeowner for what was clearly a case of self-defense. We're going to break down this video, show you guys what happened. We're going to give you our feedback on it. But as always, we want you guys to give your thoughts in the comments section. What does this person do right? What did the person do wrong? What would you do if you were in that position? And do you agree with our commentary on this situation? I'm going to play through it first at full time or full speed. Then we're going to stop and play it a little bit slower and break down some of these details. As always, guys, we're not lawyers here at AFA. We fight for your gun rights in Congress and in state capitals. This is my take on what I would do if I was in this situation. Let's hit play. So the bad guy is immediately at the back gate outside their property line, and it's excellent to have this on video. Having him come across the gate, the fence, as he does right here, clearly shows he knew he did not belong on this property. He walks up the backyard, the outdoor light comes on, didn't even pause. He goes to the back door, he jiggles the handle, can't get in, goes off to the side, looking at windows, other ways to access the house, and then he goes back into the garage. At this point, the homeowner opens the door and begins to fire warning shots at the suspect. They're screaming and shouting. Frankly, we can't play the audio. It would not be allowed on YouTube. The suspect then comes out of the garage, comes back at the homeowner. At this point, her son is also with her at the doorway, and he fires a rifle shot right here that ends this attack. The video cuts off right here. And so there's nothing else to show you guys. That's a quick snapshot of what happened. Now we're going to back it up and we're going to play it again at half speed to show you guys some more details that we simply can't go over fast enough when the video was first playing. So here we go. Again, having the video is everything when it comes to surviving the court action afterwards. We see here the guy was outside the fence. He dang well knew this was not his property. He scales the fence and goes onto their property. You can see him jump over the fence right here. He knew dang good and well he was not in his own yard. He goes right up to the back door. The fact that the security light did not make him stop makes me think the guy was perhaps intoxicated. Maybe he was high on narcotics, maybe some combination thereof. He didn't even pause. He then goes right to the back door, and he's shaking the handle. Now, the homeowner told the police she heard the noise of the door handle being jiggled. At that point, she got her handgun. She contacted her son, who lives in the home with her. He's 26, and they both came to the back door. Now, the suspect here takes off and goes into the garage for some reason. And at that point, the homeowner opens the sliding door and begins to scream and shout at this individual. You can see here, right there, she just fired her first warning shot. So I'm going to pause right here to discuss some of these details. And again, when we critique one of these situations, we're not trying to armchair quarterback this, or rather we are, and we know that we have the luxury of doing this in an office, not under a lethal threat. And it's a lot easier for us to know what to do here, not under the pressure of a home invasion. So we're not trying to be negative towards these people. Rather, it's what could we do better if we were in this position? And the first thing clearly is never leaving the security of your home. By opening up that sliding door and engaging with this suspect verbally, you have lost an element of the security you had inside of your home, both practically and legally. The minute you leave your home, you lose some of your legal protection if the situation results in a shooting. So that's number one. Number two, her first warning shot has just been fired. Let's keep watching. Here goes a second warning shot. She's now, here goes again right here. That's two warning shots that she has fired. As everybody probably knows, we are legally liable for every shot that leaves our firearm. That especially includes warning shots. And so while I understand why she did this, to scare this suspect in fear for her safety, legally, we want to avoid warning shots and never use those. Despite the warning shot, though, this guy was not slowed down at all. He emerges out of the garage and begins to talk with them. Now, we can't play the audio because the language is too intense, and YouTube would pull the video off of our page. So we can't let you listen to it, but suffice it to say, she is screaming at him and telling him to get off of her property. Again, while she's doing this, she's reached out to her son. He is coming to the sliding door with her. We never see him on the video, but he has a rifle in his hands. So now at this point, the suspect has heard the shots, heard the woman say leave. He does the opposite. He begins to re-engage. More warning shots are fired here. There's one more warning shot. You might not see it on the clip right here. There it is right there. So now she's fired at least 4 warning shots at this guy, and he has not fled the scene yet. So clearly at this point, it is pretty obvious to everybody this guy is a very serious threat, and he is not leaving, not with the fence, not with the security light, and now with 4 warning shots, he is still not leaving. I want to ask you guys what you think about the distance right here. It's kind of hard to estimate. I'm going to say it's 20 feet. If you guys disagree, let me know. I'm going to say it's about 20 feet. If you haven't ever researched the Tueller drill, make sure and look that up. This is established legal doctrine. The Tueller drill showed that a suspect 21 feet away from you or closer could draw a knife or use personal weapons like his fists before a normal gun owner could draw and fire their handgun. Now, this is a different situation because this gun owner already has her gun aimed at the suspect. Her son, presumably next to her with the rifle, has done the same thing. But just remember, when you're in these kind of situations, if you let a suspect close any closer than this, if you're not already up on target, you will not be able to react fast enough if that suspect rushes you and tries to harm you. So definitely be aware of the distance. In my opinion, having the gun up on target, this is a safe distance to not yet lethally engage. Any step closer than this, though, in my opinion, has to be a lethal threat and treated as such. But I personally am comfortable with not having fired a fatal shot yet, as long as my gun is up and on target. If you disagree, guys, let me know in the comment section. I'm going to hit play again. Final warning shot. At this point, he gets up on the steps. And at this point, the final shot is fired. We do not see this on the video. The son fires a rifle. We do not know what kind of rifle it was. Sounds like 2 shots were fired, and the video cuts right here. We do not see him fall. We do know that the suspect was Martin Lee Johnson. He died at the scene. Of course, there was a big community uproar because he was shot and killed on site in the midst of a home invasion. But of course, that doesn't stop the rioting crowd that we have in America's big cities. So from a tactical standpoint, I give her fairly decent marks. I give her big props for having a fence around her property. Give her high marks for having security lights with motion sensors. I give her props for being alert and awake enough to realize someone's trying to wiggle her door handle. And when she came to the door armed. Those are all points in her favor. We've already discussed the warning shots. She gets negative points for firing warning shots. If any of those, God forbid, hit somebody, she would be criminally charged for that. We do not ever want to see warning shots. And she gets negative points, if you want to call it that, for opening up her home in the first place and talking to this person. You must stay in your home, maintain the advantage tactically, maintain the advantage legally, and make him break into your home. In the midst of that, that's when you can most safely engage, safely physically and safely legally. Thankfully for this couple, or for the mother and son in this case, Minnesota does have castle doctrine law, and in large part because of this video, the Hennepin County Attorney's Office chose to not charge them with crimes. So she also gets high points for having a Ring door camera or some kind of a system to document these situations, which clearly helped protect her from being charged for what was clearly a case of self-defense. So guys, that's our take on the shooting. Let me know what you think in the comments section. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Do you like our analysis? And as always, guys, subscribe for more information and more content from our channel, and join the fight for freedom today at joinafa.org.